see you come in. Hello. Welcome. You took me by surprise, Internet. How's it going, y'all?
It was like a delightful kid show or someone's like, hey, I didn't see you there.
Oh,
Very Mr. Rogers-y, right?
Yeah,
So.
right?
Won't you be my bug droid?
How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Missed you last week.
Yeah.
I missed you too, Ron.
Yeah, we had a little last hurrah vacation with the kids. Not vacation, but a little mini trip with the kids before school starts on Thursday, finally.
Yeah, so you haven't even started. You haven't even started.
I feel like
back.
I seriously feel like we are the last people. I mean, even on Long Island, my sister's a teacher in the town south of us, and they started today. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a long summer. When were they out?
End of June.
Oh.
So we
okay,
go.
that's a
Yeah,
little
I think the last
later.
day of school was like June 27th. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we go.
All
long.
right, so it balances out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Wow.
it's wild. But hey, I know I missed last week, but thank you to the live audience for. I know it was not a normal week. We had 2 weeks in a row of no normalcy, thanks to our friends in Mountain View.
We are back to normal.
So thank you everyone for rolling with the punches there. So
Yeah,
we do our best.
Quick poll in the chats that you guys are in. Are you, did that bug you at all? Is it cool that we do that sometimes? I mean, sometimes we just literally it makes the most sense, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If it totally annoyed you, we would want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you understand, that makes us at least feel a little better about it.
Did you like seeing an after hours instead of, I don't know, regular show? Was that cool?
Yeah.
Did that whet anyone's appetite to become a
Yeah,
patron?
it gives you a little something, something. A little something. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Okay.
Yeah. There it is.
Everything is fine. Says Claire.
Everything's
Okay.
fine. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That was
thought
good.
I thought it was good that there would be something on Tuesday. Like we do something, right? Like we just flip the script. That's all. So,
No problem. You do a great
Aw.
job. Whatever the schedule. Thank you.
it's
Prof.
tough. I mean,
you.
yeah. Who WX Romer said there was a big decision in favor of Google. Like our hands were kind of tied. Like because of our record day and time, and because of the embargo, they told us we can't talk about the Pixel 10 until Wednesday. Right, we had to hold it back. We made the decision. We're like, listen,
Right.
we don't want to wait a week to talk about the Pixel 10 for the audio listeners, right? For everyone else, so it's like, how do you make the best situation?
Right. And just to be clear, we did have a choice. We do have a decision.
Sure.
Our
Yeah.
choice is either to go early or go live on Tuesday, not talk about it at all for a week, and then talk about it the following week, or hold it to Wednesday when the embargo lifted.
Yeah.
And being that, it's one of those kind of key flashpoints of the year that happens in Google land every year, we just kind of made the decision to hold it for a day. So, because then so often, well, it's probably more like 50-50. I feel like sometimes those announcements play in our favor. It happens early on Tuesday and we can talk about it fresh. And other times it happens the day after. And when it happens the day after, waiting a week kind of sucks. Like, on one hand, it gives us extra time to formulate fresh takes on it and stuff. But on the other hand, I don't know, kind of want to talk about this stuff when it's fresh too. So, I don't know.
Also, all the algorithms and not SEO, but things
Well,
of this
sure.
nature.
There is that too. Being part of the part of
The group, the zeitgeist, riding the wave.
Riding the wave. I could go for riding a wave right now.
It would be nice, a nice, cool, refreshing.
I was going to say,
dip in the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, in a cool but
Thirsty
not
now.
super duper duper cold.
I've been playing with my Pixel 10 though. I've been playing. I mixed it up and I put the case on it.
Oh yeah.
I thought,
Do you
why
feel
not?
protected?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think we gotta take it off. It's been a week. I got obsidian. So
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's been nice though. It's good. It's a good piece of hardware.
I got whatever they call the white one.
Oh yeah.
Pearl, or I don't know what they call it.
Pearl.
I don't know. That sounds right, but it's probably not.
I got to piece together what I want to do. I'm not prepared for this week, but maybe next week I'll do Ron's review of the Pixel 10 Pro. Yeah.
Cool.
So a couple weeks later.
I will
Porcelain.
warn you, if you get this case, the Pixel case, it's got that kind of tacky, not sticky, but definitely frictiony, kind of rubbery feel.
Yep.
And if you happen to have like a card or a receipt or something in your pocket that you put this in, and then you take this out, it will drag out the thing and it will end up on the ground. I almost lost my driver's license.
Interesting.
Oh no!
I caught it. I heard it, and I was like, "What? Oh my goodness!" Very happy that I.
It wasn't a CVS receipt. That thing would have been like a streamer coming out of your pocket.
Yeah, no, it was worse. It was my driver's license.
Yeah.
But
Keep that in your wallet, sir.
what wallet? I don't wear a wallet.
Oh, really?
I'm done wearing wallets.
Really?
No,
So
normally I keep my most important thing in my phone case now, because my phone case goes with me everywhere.
Fascinating. But that means you got to pop open the case every time you need
Well,
something.
no, I mean on the last Pixel, I got a case that actually had
the wallet.
a compartment.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It made it a little fatter, which I know would not be a solution that Ron would want on his phone. But yeah, otherwise I just end up losing my wallet. I'm very much a losing things kind of person, but for whatever reason I don't lose my phone. So
Knock on wood.
knock on wood. Yeah, and if I did, I've got the whatever they call it today, the tracking thing that's had 5 million names. Whatever it is. All right. Well, yeah. Follow Jason around for free loose bills. Hey. Pro tip. Jason's like a slot machine. If only I had like cash.
Matthew Lesko. Remember that guy with the question mark? Free money.
Who? Wait a minute. Who are you talking about?
Matthew Lesko. Is that was his name?
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
The guy that they published a book about how to get free money from the government in like the late 90s. It was a commercial on TV. Was it Matthew
Question
Lesko?
mark guy.
Oh wait, with the glasses and the coat, right?
Yep,
It was just okay. I never paid attention because I thought it was ridiculous.
Yep,
I
I
never
got
knew
it.
what
Here
his
we
deal
go.
was. Okay.
Here.
Oh my god.
Here
He's
he
got
is.
a whole TikTok.
There it
thing
is. Matthew Lesko.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Free money.
Oh shit, he's still going.
The free money guy.
He is.
Yeah. So he used to have these commercials where he was like running around Washington D.C. with his book, and he was saying ways to get free money from the government through grants or things like that. Yeah, I guess he really. I guess
200,000 followers on TikTok.
social media is like he's a perfect guy for social media. There, the lower left hand corner. That's like one of his old ads. Like that's him talking like that. Yeah. So. Yep.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking at him. I really have very little, if not no, recollection of this dude.
Did you watch TV in the late 90s?
I mean, that's what I'm surprised at. Is
Matthew
like,
Lasko.
yeah, I
That's
did, but I do not recall this guy at all.
I don't think he did infomercials. I think he did regular. I mean, is that QVC? A QVC?
No, he
Looks
never
like.
did QVC. They were
it says
literally-
Home Shopping 1-800.
They were literally. Did he do home shopping?
Home
I guess
Shopping
he did.
Network.
Oh no, yeah, he's selling his book, Matthew Lesko's free stuff package set of 3 books. Like he sold. I guess he went on Home Shopping Network to sell his books, right?
It's all free except my book. You got to buy
He was
that.
so enthusiastic. He was so enthusiastic. Yeah, if he bought his book, you could find out how to get free money.
Oh man! So free money, and like this is made for like modern social media, right?
Very much. TikTok, easy money. Let's go.
One website gives you $10,000 per month in grants. Oh, really? It's that easy, huh?
This guy is OG. He should be
Yeah.
big on TikTok or something. He just needs like
Totally.
a dance or something.
Question mark dance.
Question mark dance. Wait, how do you make it? Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know how you make a.
And then you gotta do the dot though at the bottom. Let's think.
I don't know what a question mark dance
Oh,
is. I'm not a
Susan
dancer.
Powder. Oh my God. Stop the insanity. And I don't remember.
Stop the insanity.
What did she sell? I never remembered.
Oh, that's a good question. Stop the insanity, girl.
Yeah, her name was Susan Powter, Powter.
A motivational speaker, nutritionist, and fitness guru who rose to fame in the 90s with her best-selling book and infomercial titled "Stop the Insanity." She became famous for that catchphrase, of course. She used to criticize fad diets and encourage women to take control of their lives by embracing a high-volume, low-fat eating plan and exercise.
Wait, sorry. High volume, low fat. Okay.
Yeah. Bad fad diets. Bad. Stop the insanity. There we go. And here, if you wanted to remember who she was.
I remember
There
this
you
just
go.
very vividly.
Yeah. There you go. The Stop the Insanity girl. I'm sure she has a social media presence as well. I wonder if she still says that. Yeah, stop the insanity. Anyways. Hey, you're the Stop the Insanity lady. Say it. Say it one more time, just for me. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, we did the things that we were required to do.
we talked about retro things.
Yeah.
Right.
You all require us to talk about obscure 90s references, and we did. One more week of doing that. Should we do a show then?
Let's do a show.
Let's do it.
Start the Android. That'd be
Free
hours.
money.
Yes. Free Android podcast. Okay, who's doing? Who wants to do the top?
I'm the top and the tail
Oh,
today.
you are. There we go.
Toot, 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 toot.
Well, Ron, you are struck from the room temporarily. My video is muted anyways. Okay, I will put the overlay on. Buckle your safety belts, because here we go.
Welcome and happy September. Stop the insanity with us, Android Faithful, where every week we provide you news, hardware, and apps in this our world of Android. I am Huyen Tue Dao.
I'm going to stop the insanity for a second. Did you hear breaking? Hold on, Ron.
Did it get crunchy all of a sudden?
Yeah, when your audio was like, it was like
Really?
breaking up, and I
Oh,
can't
no.
tell if it's mic related or connection related, but there was definitely something up.
Okay.
Play the music again.
Was it that? Hold on. Let's see here. I'm trying.
Leave Zebediah out
that's
of this.
volume.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Okay, how
Hold
about
on.
yeah? Was I
Hold on.
too?
Hold on. Okay, yeah, talk.
Talk.
See?
Oh.
And I don't sing.
Yep.
I rap. Am I breaking up? Am I good?
Yeah,
Am
you
I good?
are.
Yeah,
And
still
there's
good,
music.
still good. Do.
But it doesn't
Do you
normally
have headphones
do
in,
that.
Win? Or
Win was breaking up for sure. I have headphones. I have ear.
do you have your ears are in though? You have speakers or anything,
Yeah.
right?
No speakers.
That's happening when the
Weird.
music is playing, Jason. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because
I
when the
haven't
music's
heard that
not
one
playing, she's
before.
fine.
Let's see here. Let's. Yeah, this is done. Safety.
That happened. I think that happened a couple weeks ago when you were out. When I produced, the same thing happened.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's me?
It's you, and it's not just you though. I don't know what would
Here,
cause
run.
Yeah.
All right, one more time.
Here, wait, let's try it. Ready?
Wait, am I doing it or someone
I
else
am.
doing it? Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Android Faithful. Am I breaking up with the music? I
I
don't know
heard
if I
one
am.
breakup, but
Yeah.
that was it. They got back together.
Is
Um,
talking? Is the music causing too much noise on the channel? Right? You know, like
I don't
when it's
know.
coming in.
That's strange, though. We've never really had that happen before.
Yeah.
Oh. So should we?
Bizarro. I mean, I guess we just kind of roll with it.
I mean, do we?
I don't know how else.
I mean, do we just do it sans music this week, and you just drop it in post when?
Well, that's not going to help. I mean, that's not going to help the YouTube, right?
right.
Um,
Well, this is the YouTube, so they're seeing it all the dirty laundry
yeah,
that
so they're
exists
seeing
anyway,
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And then, yeah.
Shouldn't have stopped.
Yeah,
the
just
insanity.
go to the slate and then have her do the intro, and then you drop in the music and the post and clean.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
let's do that.
All right.
Let's just
Sorry,
do that.
guys.
You're just going to get a weird thing this week.
And-
Although that doesn't help us for next week and beyond.
No,
Yeah,
it
that's so
doesn't. But it's
bizarre.
but as the night goes on, we don't want to get stuck
Yeah.
later. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, then I will blank myself from video. Ron's removed, and I'll count you in. Okay. In
All right.
3, 2.
Well, hello again. Welcome to episode 111 of your Android Faithful weekly podcast, where we bring you news, hardware, and apps, and sometimes looking at how the sausage is made every now and again. I'm Huyen Tue Dao.
Now, whether you like it or not, and you watch the live feed, you'll see how the sausage is made. I'm Jason Howell.
And sometimes the podcast, sometimes you make the podcast, sometimes the podcast makes you. That's what we learned over all years of podcasting.
We are the sausage.
Yeah, exactly. It is good to be back, though, my friends. After a very eventful couple of weeks, I missed you last week to hear all the Pixel 10 reactions, but it was good to see the reactions of the audience. They seemed people really enjoyed the episode of you all talking about the Pixel 10 after getting to play with it.
Yeah, now we've had it, for like a little bit of time. At least I've had it. I took it to the mountains, the Trinity Alps, and had it for ProRes Zoom the entire time. Got thoughts.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about you?
So I also got the Pixel 10 along with Jason and Flo, and I've been putting it through its paces. I took it to the beach the other day. I took it to a Mets game. I've been just taking it around like it's like a friend visiting from. It's like an exchange student. And I'm showing it the sights.
Showing the sights.
I took it to the mountains. I took it to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
We're good friends.
No, but I'm digging it. I'm working on my kind of Ron's review of the Pixel 10. I think I'll do it next week. Of where as I'm putting it through its paces, but so far it's holding up. After the 4+ hours of setting the phone up, which is smoother than ever, but it just takes forever to restore all your apps and to do everything. But I actually, friends of mine had Pixel 8s, and based off my initial feedback on the Pixel 10, they went and ordered Pixel 10s to replace their Pixel 8s. So
okay.
I convinced somebody to go get new phones. So
what were they looking for exactly that the 10 was going to give them the 8 didn't have?
Well, I think just that they were. It was time to upgrade. Wanted the better camera. I showed them some photos. I will say, this camera feels better. I don't know if it's just the newness of it. Like, every time I get a new phone, the camera always feels better. But I took some pictures of my kids and their cousins and like some other pictures where like my wife was like, all right, this feels better than like your last 3 phones. Like the camera portrait mode took some real, like in the right light, sunset, like nice summer, August, like magic hour light. I got some really good photos and was very impressed with the results so far.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the AI or if it's the camera system or what, but like it does feel markedly different than the Pixel 9 Pro for me. So
good to know. Yeah, I've been really happy with the camera as well. For sure. It's good stuff. Cool. And then when you had ordered the Pro Fold, right?
The Pro Fold was not coming until October.
Boo, that's right.
Boo. And I did order the Pixel Watch 4 because I'm so in love with my Pixel Watch 3. So in love with it, I didn't wear it today. But I'm anxious to see what the new one. I actually might start using it for workouts and figure out something to do with it that is not on my wrist. But yes, I'm getting over Whoop for various reasons. So since we talk about Android stuff all the time, I should really wear my Android watch and try to work out with it. Yes.
See where it lets you down. Hopefully it doesn't, though.
I hope so. I hope not. I hope so. No, I hope not so.
Yeah.
But that is not so.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're the right kind of place for you to voice however you end up feeling about it. Once you end up getting it, do you know when you're getting it? Like soon?
October. Also, I got October for that one too. I can double check my email, but I seem to be waiting for many things in my Pixel life.
I hate waiting.
So I will say, someone in the chat said they were disappointed with the 10 Pro XL camera. They went to a concert and the quality wasn't there. I haven't been to a show yet, and I'm going to a show this weekend. And then actually through the month of September, I've got like 11 shows to go to, 11 concerts. So like, I'm going to put it through its paces.
Time, dude?
I don't. I'm actually concerned about both my marriage and my day job, because
amazing.
It's really not. It's not good. It's not good. It's just
everyone's
touring. Everyone is touring in September, and I decided to go. So.
More power to you, dude.
After the show, I'll share the list. In the after hours, I'll share the list.
That'll be after hours. Yeah, you got to be a patron. Patreon.com/Android Faithful to get after hours. So, go there and check that out. That's all we'll say about that. Should we talk about some news?
Yeah.
Maybe some big news?
Big news.
I think this qualifies as big news.
Huge
Remember,
news. Huge.
recall that Google has been under the regulatory legal lens for quite some time now over what they were found guilty of, which was of being an illegal monopoly when it comes to the search, their search business online. And about a year ago, that determination was made. And then in the last handful of months, we've talked about on this show that there was a possibility that Google might be forced to sell off its Chrome browser, also possibly forced to sell off Android, which is very, very applicable to the show that you're listening to right now. I think we also mentioned that it's probably unlikely that either of those things is going to happen, but it was certainly floated, I think, by the Department of Justice that, hey, maybe you should think about this. Well, have no fear, because Google gets to keep its Chrome browser, also gets to keep Android after a ruling, or kind of some of the consequences, whatever, were released, I think, earlier today. So it's kind of a little bit of late breaking news. Google is required to share more of its search index and user interaction data. And the ruling does say that Google can still pay for preloaded content and products, but can't condition those contracts on exclusivity. That's one of the big things there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, doesn't need to sell off Chrome, doesn't need to sell off Android. Either one of those things would have been an immensely huge deal for Google's business and for us as users and fans of both things. It would have really... Well, we would have had a lot to talk about. Let's just say that.
It would have been cataclysmic. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, are we surprised? Did we think it was really going to happen? No. I don't know.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And there were certainly a lot of other businesses out there, trying to kind of like poke the bear a little bit to like make it happen. Because I think, you stand to gain a lot if you're the company that ends up being able to acquire a Chrome browser, let's say, or Android operating system, or the Android business. But it just felt too big. It felt, to me, and not being a lawyer in any way, shape, or form, obviously, but it just felt like too large a consequence and too disruptive, potentially larger than necessary given where it's at, but maybe not. I mean, this, they were found illegal, found to have an illegal monopoly according to, the ruling. So maybe that's not too big, but apparently it is, because they've decided not to go that direction. So, yay. Unless you wanted that to happen, then
I mean, there's a small part of me that likes to watch the world burn that was kind of hoping for it, because it would have been really interesting to watch it all play out and all that sort of stuff. So,
it definitely would have been dramatic.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I suppose there's a part of me that, I mean, we talked about that last week a little bit about how, at least from the Android side, they've really been tightening the ship and, having a lot more requirements and just kind of like making things less open than it used to be. And I suppose one of the fever dreams that I had in the last year is like, is it possible that Android could separate itself out and become the truly open, the truly-ish open source platform that it used to be? But well, just a fever dream.
Yeah.
I woke up.
Wake up. Wake up.
I'm awake.
Okay. I don't know what else to say about it, because like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like a little bit like, because we were like mentally preparing for the worst. It does feel like they kind of got away with it a little bit. Oh, they have to share some data, and oh, they have to do this, and then there's all this sort of stuff. Like it doesn't seem. I'm sure there's a penalty in here that makes the business feel, a little more complicated, or the government feels like they got what they needed to deal with but like, does the folks that were on the other side of the antitrust side feel as if the scales are balanced again? You know what I mean? Did they just get a slap on the wrist and are going to move forward? So
yeah, and
really
Clinton does point out something important here. He says, not a final ruling yet. Judge just said what it will and will not have, and asked the parties involved to help finalize. So, this is the part of all these legal things where my knowledge of how this stuff works kind of falters a little bit, where I'm like, all right, can we just be done? Can we just like move on? And it's like, no, now we're at the next step, and then somebody's gonna appeal something, and it's gonna drag on, like Mike says in the message before it, for years, and that's probably still the case.
Legal stuff never ends. Never ends. So.
But it appears that Chrome and Android aren't going anywhere, so at least that particular zone of the sky is not falling.
That's good. All right. Well, there you go. So bullet dodged or cataclysm dodged. And so Google's kind of in the mood to celebrate, I guess. And so there's a little celebratory things coming out of Mountain View. First off, today, it was funny because today was like, I'll take everyone through the emotional roller coaster of planning the show behind the scenes at Android Faithful. This morning, as we're looking at the news story, see what's going on, looking at the patron picks, looking at what some of you guys have shared in Discord, things like that. We're like, all right, it seems like it's been a pretty quiet week so far. And then actually, Mashal is not with us tonight because he's not feeling well. Mashal, feel better, get well soon. And he's like, whoa, look at this. And sure enough, the news that Google, via the Made by Google social media accounts, announced that Gemini is coming to Google Home. So all of the Sturm and Drang over Google Home and Gemini and all this sort of stuff, they announced that come back October 1st. And it just says Gemini is coming to Google Home. What that means is anybody's guess. We know that they've been working to have Gemini be powering assistant behind the scenes of Google Home, for a while now. If you look at this asset, the visual asset they posted on social media, it's not a Google Home device or Google Home Hub. It's actually the camera. It's the camera of the doorbell, right?
Yeah.
And the copy in the social media post is that you, Gemini? Come in and make yourself at home, with a little house emoji, and then a link to sign up for updates. So it's anybody's guess what the Gemini integration into Google Home will look like, but it can't get much worse than how things currently are with Google Home and the hybrid assistantfication of what they're doing or whatnot. So that's pretty wild.
I have two thoughts here. One is, I think, putting the camera on there. What was it? Was it Mobile World Congress where Google gave me a demo of different things at their booth while I was there, and one of them was that the camera, in the room could detect that the dog was the cookie thief that came into the room, by looking at old footage or whatever. And so I think that's at least one element of how Gemini integrates with something like a video doorbell or whatever, is that it has a potential to kind of recognize these things and summarize so that you don't have to go digging into the footage to find things. It can just be like, a dog came in and stole a cookie at 2:43 in the afternoon today.
Right.
And that stuff. And second, I love how this thing says, come back October 1st. As if we've all forgotten. Which we have. We've all I don't even talk to you anymore, Google, in my home device. And they're like, please, we're still here. Come back.
Exactly. That's very funny. So we'll see on October 1st what happens with Google Home. But right around the middle of the day today, we thought this was the lead story of the show. Yeah. And then the news about the DOJ and the antitrust case came down, and we're like, well, actually, that's the lead story. But first thing today, and no joke, the lead story was the fact that Google had added the Android 16 statues to the Mountain View campus.
Yes. Yeah.
Which that should tell you what what kind of news week it was, right?
It's a really cute announcement though, because the statue is actually a little, what would you call that? Whirly twirly,
it's a carousel. It's a carousel.
Oh my God.
There we go.
Despite I will give Samir Samat some what's the word? I want to be kind here. Constructive criticism. He should spell check his tweets before he posts them, because he misspelled the word carousel on his post.
Oh no! But there's a delightful video of friends of the show, Samir Samat, Cian Chow, and Rick Osterloh sitting together.
Soon to be friend of the show, hopefully soon to be
friend of the show. Also, it is meant to be celebrating Material Expressive. So the seats on the carousel are all of the new little shapes that are part of Material Expressive, like the clover and the flowers and stuff. So
Well, so it's interesting. Samir explained it a little more in his post. He said we have a new statue for the Android release to celebrate. This year, we crowdsourced the design from the team using Gemini to help illustrate the ideas.
Okay.
So you got Gemini, you got Material 3 Expressive, you got the little bug droid, and you can see here he spelled carousel Carrossel,
All right.
which is
let's see here. So let's go to Gemini. Is this how you spell carousel?
Oh, that's mean.
I just want to know. It's analyzing the spelling issue, determining language specificity. That's a great question. Okay. This is why I asked, because there might be an alternate way. It says in English, the correct spelling is carousel.
Carousel. Yeah.
The spelling you used, Carrossel, is the correct spelling in Portuguese.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's why Samir included it, but I can see how that might happen. So there we go.
Yes.
Thank you,
Also
Gemini.
important. Important to note also that the dessert names still exist even if they're not using them publicly. Because what are Samir, Cian, and Rick eating on the carousel? They're eating baklava.
Right.
Oh, look at that! They're so
is.
smart. Google PR is so smart.
I don't know why they just
That
don't
is
use the
baklava.
name.
Look at it. It is. Yes.
Just need to use the names publicly. We know you like them. We like them too. You get to have dessert when you do promos.
Don't make it an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's totally an Easter egg. You got to really know that they're eating baklava.
Yeah.
You got to zoom in with ProRes zoom in order to identify that stuff.
Look how happy Rick Osterloh looks in
I
that photo, by the
know.
way. Like this man, like it's been a busy month, and he's like, I'm on a carousel with these guys eating baklava. Like,
I've been doing Pixel for 10 years. Yay.
oh man.
Oh my goodness.
So there you go. So
maybe
we're
someday
glad.
we'll take a trip out to Google Campus and all of us who are there sit on the carousel. And get our pictures.
It would be nice. I would gladly do that. But
Should we eat baklava?
Maybe
That would be
if
nice,
we're
too.
That organized, which I don't necessarily think that we will be, but you never know.
I am thankful though that the Gemini coming to Google Home story and the antitrust story came out, because the Android 16 statue is a really great breaking news item. So it gives this week a little more oomph to it. You know?
It's news.
Totally.
Yeah. But we do have some drama. We do have a little
Just some
drama.
drama.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can be assured that the pictures, almost assuredly the pictures that Samir, Cian, and Rick took on their delightful carousel ride were probably taken with a Pixel phone. In related news to, let's see, OEMs taking promotional pictures with reportedly their devices, but not really. That is not a genre at all. There's a little drama around Nothing that basically in some of their demo units, and this was found on some floor units in New Zealand. What happened was someone noticed that when you go to some of the demo units, you kind of have this experience of like, you know, they bring up a small demo of purportedly pictures taken #with nothing. Well, somehow someone noticed that the 5 images shown in that, you know, what taken with nothing were actually stock photos. And in fact, I believe Android Authority, and in particular Michelle's co-host on their Android Insights podcast, C. Scott Brown, they reached out and contacted some of the photographers who purportedly actually took these photographs. They received a response and said, yes, these are photos that were purchased or licensed rather by Nothing, and none of them were taken with the Nothing 3 or any Nothing phone at all. So yes, Nothing got caught saying that some of these gorgeous photos were taken with Nothing when they were not. And it took a little bit, but Nothing has responded. Now, their explanation is that these kind of demo videos, demo experiences for these like floor units, they have to have the content approved 4 months before release. And so they didn't at the time, I suppose, have phones with which to take photos, but they had to have like the content, like the video content approved ahead of time. And so someone put in placeholder photos, which they got from a stock photo website. And that what happened was that no one remembered to replace them once the photos were actually, or the phones rather, were in production. So I mean, I'm liable to believe them. That I don't think this was meant to be like misleading to people, and that it was just a big screw up on someone's part to leave in placeholder images. But that's what it is, and it's very unfortunate. They did, post explaining and, saying, of course, how it really is important for them to accurately represent themselves and what their phones can do. So they will try to do better. But yeah, that's a massive drama. It was really kind of sketchy for a minute before nothing did make their statement. So.
I mean, there is the old adage in startups of which nothing is still a startup. They are still in that mode, and it is move fast and break things, right? The old lovely Facebook, kind of thing with that. And having worked at both, startups that move fast and break things, and also very, very large corporations with many, many cooks in the kitchen, stuff slips through the cracks in both ends of the spectrum all the time. And this is exactly the kind of thing that slips through the crack, where you are working so hard, especially to get to a launch and especially to get something in the door. And you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to put in the photos and we have it, but we have to put something in here. It's going to be representative. And then it changes hands and the deck gets handed off. Someone goes on vacation. Someone forgets to mention that it was placeholder. They didn't put FPO over it. It's reckless. It's sloppy. It causes mistakes. It causes embarrassment, but it's not malicious.
No.
Right? And I'm inclined to absolutely, I'm not defending nothing because I like them, because I do, and I will admit that. But if this was Sony, if this was Samsung, if this was Google, anybody, that excuse that nothing provided, I don't think is an excuse, is an absolutely plausible thing that I have seen happen at companies I've worked at, so they just got busted, and it's good. And I'd rather than be honest and say, yeah, this is what happened, than try to, dance around it. So I don't think there's anything malicious there. But,
no. And I totally agree. As someone who's worked at big companies, those kind of deadlines where they want something way ahead of time to the point where it almost seems like ridiculous. Like why would you need this so early? But that's what you do when you have a big marketing launch. And it's very easy to overlook if someone's not watching.
The unfortunate thing for nothing is that whether there was ill intent or not on something like this, it now follows the brand around. It's the thing that gets continuously brought up if there's any sort of tangential potential linkage to this and a future thing. It's like, remember back in 2025 when nothing, blah, blah, blah. It starts to create kind of like a trail, and Samsung, still to this day, when we talk about blunders, from Samsung, we can't help but bring up the fire threat, that ended up not being that big of a deal for the business in the long term, but it still kind of follows them around as that one time that thing happened. And I can't remember who the other companies are who have done this. Was it Huawei, or I can't remember, but I mean, this isn't the only time that this has happened. And I think in some of those situations, it was done in kind of like a sneaky, like, let's just, get this through sort of way, or at least that's how it was reported. So, whether their intention was to do it on purpose or not, I'm inclined to believe that they probably didn't do it on purpose. And accidents do happen. These are, human beings run these companies, and that's just a fact.
And human beings make mistakes.
It doesn't mean that they are off the hook, and that's just the consequence, right? Like when you run a company like this, you gotta connect those dots, otherwise stuff follows you around.
It's a bummer. It's an absolute bummer. So, there you go. We're watching, all you companies out there. Everyone's always watching. That's the one thing you got to learn.
Yeah.
Watching you.
Yeah. But we're always watching all the news that's happening in the world of Android. And so are you, everybody listening, and everybody that helps us make this show and supports us over at patreon.com/AndroidFaithful. And every week we look to you, our supporting loyal Android faithful, to help us pick a story to talk about here in the news block. And you could do that every Monday. The vote goes up for members, and you have until Tuesday to vote on 3 stories. We're going to talk about the winning story here tonight, and then the 2 losing stories get talked about on the patrons only after hours show that you can get on the patrons feed for our supporting patrons at Android Faithful after hours, which is very exciting. So this week, first off, we have our lovely Bug Droid graphic, which I made, which features the Bug Droid at the Oasis concert.
Was that one of your concerts?
Which is happening. That is actually where I will be this Sunday in Los Angeles. Okay. The FOMO got to me, and I was like, I'm going to see Oasis. So Bug Droid got ahead of me, and he's there in the crowd enjoying Oasis. I made this with this is actually a combination of ideogram and Gemini. I made the image with ideogram and then brought it into Gemini because ideogram couldn't get the Oasis logo, and so I had Gemini put the Oasis logo in the graphic I already made with their new banana VO editor thing. It was pretty cool. So, so patrons can see that graphic over that we're talking about, audio listeners. But it's a stadium with an Android Faithful blimp that says Android Faithful on the side, and Oasis on stage with a banner with Oasis's logo, and the bug droid's in the crowd holding his phone, and his phone says Android Faithful. So it's
Could you imagine how many listeners and subscribers we'd have if we actually flew a blimp that said Android Faithful over the Oasis? We'd probably get like 5 new subscribers.
I know, it'd be amazing.
Whole 5. That'd be awesome.
So, but yes, so we had 3 stories for patrons to vote on this week. The losing story was the Honors Magic V5 is the thinnest foldable yet, but that's not why it matters. And tune into After Hours to find out why it does matter, because we'll talk about it. That got 14% of the vote. Coming in second with 32% of the vote was Quick Share for iPhones is still in the works, and here's proof. Unfortunately, those of you who aren't too enthralled by the iPhone getting access to Quick Share, but we'll talk about that on After Hours. But the winning story this week was the fact that Acer has made a Google TV streamer box, and it has a ton of ports. And sure enough, yes, the news is out that Acer has put up for sale, currently only in South Africa, and unknown if it's going to launch in the US, but it's a 4K Google TV box that includes a micro SD slot along with USB-C, HDMI, Ethernet, and an S/PDIF port. So
audio.
And also a USB-A slot as well too. So this thing is chocked with slots and ports, which is fantastic. And it's also got Wi-Fi 6, and it's got 2 gig of RAM and in there, and uses the standard Google TV remote. It's going to be, and there's a bit of a confusion over the amount of RAM. Actually, the pre-order page says it's got 2 gig, but there's a press release that says it's got 3 gig. So some confusion over exactly how much memory will be on it. It sells for about $80. Which, if you're keeping track at home, is about $20 cheaper than the Google TV streamer device. And also the Google TV streaming device doesn't have all these ports, by the way. It doesn't have a micro SD port, which is bananas. So keep an eye out for Acer and their Google TV box if they bring it domestically. But if you're in South Africa, this could be your new home entertainment option. We're seeing more and more of these low-cost Google TV devices crop up. I mean, the Ananana device used to be a novelty, but this is like the 3rd or 4th device from like Acer's not a fly-by-night AliExpress manufacturer. Like Acer's a legit manufacturer of laptops and things like that. They're investing money in making these devices. Clearly, they think there's a market for it.
And what did they say? Did they say the price on this? What,
$80.
$80.
$80.
Converted.
Yep. Converted.
About $20 cheaper than Google's streamer box.
Yep.
Okay. It's a kind of an old school looking device, but does it have to be all fancy?
I do like the remote. It's using the Google TV remote with some different, a couple of different buttons, right? So it's got the YouTube button. It's got a YouTube Music button. It's got a Netflix button and a Prime Video button, and then there's an enormous blue button in the middle of the remote that says Live TV.
Nice.
Yeah, most of these remotes do have that now.
That's crazy.
Because of the Freevee or whatever they call it, the integration. Yeah. But they don't always say Freevee. I think on the Google TV streamer, if I remember correctly, that button, that large TV button, God, or was it I can't keep it all straight. But it depends on what it says there, either Live TV or something more official. But yeah, interesting. Really emphasizing the free the free TV capabilities that you get out of these devices now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
interesting, but we won't get it here. Wah, wah.
Well, we won't get it yet. We don't know. It's only in South Africa. It could be a slow rollout. You never know, but keep an eye out for it. You might be able to import it. Who knows? But thank you to all of the patrons who voted on that. You can go to patreon.com/AndroidFaithful and get on board, and you'll have access to vote in the patrons, just like Keith Steiner from the great state of Ohio, who we want to thank for supporting us over on patreon.com/AndroidFaithful. And you can sign up and you'll get a thank you on the show, as well as access to the after hours, the ad-free podcast feed, and a bunch of other great stuff, some awesome merch at the different levels. So thank you to everybody who supported us, and stay tuned after the show. We'll release the after hours where we talk about the losing patron picks. So
that's right. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. All right.
Yep.
Should we take a break and then maybe
should.
come back, talk a little hardware? Got some good stuff coming up, so stand by. Okay. Apparently my mic level's a little low. Boosted. Okay, so Win, over to you. What you got?
Well, I got a little leaky peeky of the Samsung Galaxy Z trifold from a report from friend of the show, Ben Schoen, over at 95 Google. So we don't know a lot about the trifold yet, but a leaker on X named Tech Highest managed to get their hands on some animations from some Samsung software that shows how this trifold might fold. And it's just the animation is kind of trying to indicate to users where you would put the phone, or at least what section of the phone you would need to have it wirelessly charged. The only thing the most succinct way I can explain it is that it folds like a burrito a little bit, or an egg roll, where you have the leftmost third folding over the middle bit, and then that whole middle bit folds over the rightmost side, and then it's that back right part. I guess if you're opening it up and the screen's facing you, the wireless charging area and NFC is on that back part. So it is distinct from the Huawei Mate XT, which has a Z fold where, like the kind of back and the left and right panels fold in opposite directions to make a Z. Like if you look at the phone from the size of Z,
like the Huawei one is like the taco tray, right?
It's a taco tray.
Right.
And this is a burrito.
There you go.
There you go.
We should define all foldable styles in the form of Mexican food.
I like it very much. So it's a burrito style foldable. And yes, I don't know how I feel about, does that seem as, I don't know, like trying to pontificate over the utility of a trifold seems silly, since none of us have a trifold and we're probably not going to get one because they're so dang expensive. But I don't know. Do you guys have any impressions about burrito fold versus taco tray? Like, I feel like I'd like a taco tray more. Like, it seems more versatile.
Yeah, I don't know.
The taco tray's more accordion style, right? It just kind of
kind of goes. Yeah,
but like this, and it would just go whoonk. And this
the burrito fold, and for audio listeners, there's a video that kind of shows the folding, an animation of the folding style where it kind of folds in and then folds in again.
Over the top of itself, yeah.
I don't know I don't know. It's weird. I would like to go on record that I am in support of the trifold. Don't stop at 3. I hope we get to a point someday where we have like a 6-fold, where you just it basically opens up to a 21-inch monitor. I would like
very
that.
Widescreen.
I'm all for that. I think that would be great. But yeah, it's interesting. I haven't thought about what the fold momentum, how that will impact your usage, the usability.
Yeah, like doing that. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to visualize, spatialize in
right. Because think about if you're on the subway and you want to open up your phone, is it better to go blump or to go bump a bump? That's kind of
Now think about the back of this display. So when it's unfolded, that means that the middle panel is the glass display on the outside.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that might be a little interesting too. I'm curious to see the other side of it from that perspective. But I don't know. But I reserve judgment until I get it in my hands and I go, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you hear that? Huawei, well, I guess less Huawei, but also Samsung, that we reserve judgment until we get to have our greedy little hands on it, so we can make judgments. I would say the Huawei Mate XT, it feels like it's 3 separate devices, because when you have the phone, you open it up, then it's a regular book style foldable, and then you open it up again, it's a tablet. This feels like basically phone or tablet because of the burrito roll. But maybe I'm wrong about that, because it's kind of hard to see. It's a very simple animation just to show you where it charges. So again, Samsung, let us know. We love talking about this stuff. We love your foldables.
I think it's so funny that this is quickly becoming the worst kept secret.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, but if you're Samsung and you are innovating once again on something like a trifold, is it actually a secret, or like is it actually a blown secret, or is it Samsung just kind of
Right, it's feeding
dropping out these little nuggets to keep people excited, and
We were here first.
Never really know.
Yep.
Never really know. Well, are you excited about Google's Pixel Care Plus program? Yeah.
I have thoughts about this, by the way, but I have a take on this. But
all right. Well, this is actually a block that begins with Pixel Care Plus, and then we'll talk about all the all the ways that Pixel 10 devices are behaving badly. But first, say goodbye to Preferred Care warranty plan for Pixel. Say hello to Pixel Care Plus, its new name. Still $8 per month. $159 for a 2-year plan if you happen to have a Pixel 9, just as one example, because it varies, based on device. $339 for a 2-year plan for the Pro Fold. But there have been some changes that include free screen replacement. It used to cost $29 on a standard phone. If you had a foldable, I don't know what the cost was then, but now it's a $99 deductible. So I am assuming that's less. I didn't actually look at the before price on that one. Free battery repairs included. And I say free, it's not true. You're paying for the plan, but you don't have to pay extra fee for it. Also lower service fees for other accidental damage. That also varies on the device in question. So a little bit of updates.
So here's my problem. Okay. So you pay $8 a month or $159 for a 2-year plan. I'm sorry that you'll pay $8 a month or $159 for a 2-year plan on a Pixel 9, and on a Pro Fold that jumps up to $339 for 2 years or $18 a month. Okay. And then what you said was the big changes here are that screen and battery repairs are free. Mm-hmm. No, they're not. You're paying $8 or $18 a month.
Yeah.
They're not free.
Yeah, it's true.
So under the old program, replacing a cracked screen would cost you an additional $29.
On top of the fees you were
under
paying.
This one, a cracked screen or a battery running at under 80% capacity gets swapped out for $0, right?
So you just say included. Screen replacement is included.
It's this marketing BS to make us feel like, oh, but screen replacement, well, no, it's not free. I'm still paying you. I'm paying you per month to have you replace the screen. Now you're just not charging me for it again.
Now, are they saying here users get free upgraded shipping on replacements?
They do say $0, which
$0 deductibles
implies. Look,
so,
it's free, that's fair. I think free is a fair interpretation.
Free deductible? I don't know. I get what you're saying, because depending on how that's marketed,
with no additional charges.
Yeah.
Because that's what was happening. What was happening was that you were paying a monthly fee or an annual fee, and then you were getting hit with additional charges. Don't tell me it's free, because it's not free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my annoyance.
That's
my
true. The free could be The Verge's, which is the article that we're going off of. The Verge's interpretation of what Google means. That's why I clicked through to Pixel Care Plus to kind of see how Google is marketing.
I mean, it says there's $0.
$0.
They're bringing attention to the fact that there's a $0 does very much say free to me. Like that's what they're pointing at instead of included. They could have said included screen and battery repairs, but they're trying to make you think that. It's
extra.
Right.
Extra.
Yeah, so maybe it's more about The Verge than about Google, right?
Yeah,
and the way they position it in that. Good on Google for offering it, for not making it additional fees. That's good.
Yeah,
this is So I guess free is a better link clickbait than $0.
For sure. Free in headlines.
Yeah. No additional money. Yeah. So
free screen and battery repair. But that's just the first story. I know that was awesome and fun, and you thought we were done, but we're not, because here's a whole slew of ways in which Pixel 10 devices are behaving badly. Some Pixel 10 buyers reporting wireless charging issues with older magnetic charging devices. Some chargers aren't charging at maximum speed. Sometimes it's just like 5 watts when it's rated for more, that sort of stuff. So of course people are this is the wrong thing that I'm showing here. Sorry. So people aren't happy about that. What else aren't people happy about? Well, some Pixel 10 users are seeing digital glitching on their displays, and this looks ugly. It's actually not on this article. It's on the Android Authority article that shows. Ew.
That's not good. That is a screen full of pink and white snow noise that you cannot see the display whatsoever at all.
But you can hear the sounds, apparently.
Yeah.
So there's that. You're halfway there.
This is like, I love how subtle the Android Authority article goes. New Pixel 10 owners are running into some display glitches on their phone.
Yeah.
Display glitches are like the screen flickering or something like that. This phone is unusable.
Or maybe this is just a wallpaper that we just don't understand yet. That
It's like a magic eye picture.
Now I will also note that it displays only temporarily, so it's not permanent. So there's that. And they're thinking that it's very likely that it's a software glitch, not a hardware glitch, totally fixable. But still, this.
Yeah.
Video viewers know what I mean when I say this. Audio listeners, you just have to trust us. It's ugly. You don't want that on your phone. Anytime you see this, you're like, oh no, what's wrong with my phone? You probably think it's broken. And, maybe a software update updates it and fixes it.
Well, no, if you cross your eyes, hold it really close, and then pull it far away, you can see dolphins.
Oh, it's a magic It's a magic eye.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
it is. Yeah.
This is new technology. It's 3D.
Oh, that's what we need to do. We need to create devices that when they glitch in cute ways.
That's funny.
So we aren't so dang upset when it happens. And finally, perhaps the most annoying Pixel 10 glitch. Actually, I don't know. Depends on, where you stand. If you happen to have an Android Auto device, it isn't playing nice with all Pixel 10s. Apparently, sometimes just leaves an Android Auto logo on the display. Even though you can hear things, you don't get any of the interface. And some are saying that leaving it connected for a few minutes, eventually it kind of like works out and figures out its way to a normal interface appearing. But until that happens, you're stuck with an AA.
I did run into, so I took the Pixel 10 on I've had it in my car with Android Auto, admittedly wireless. I did notice immediately on a long drive that I was getting inundated with notifications. So, and I don't know if anybody else has run into this. I did a quick search the day it happened, and then just life got busy and I moved on. I haven't seen anybody else reporting it, but I would get a notification on the phone. It would show up on Android Auto on the screen. I would swipe it. I would get two more, swipe them away. About 10 minutes later, in the little dot in the lower right-hand corner would be a circle with 3, and I would click on that. I'd tap on that, and all 3 notifications that I had swiped 10 minutes ago were back. And that happened for like 2 days in a row, where like just the notifications would just return from the dead after I had swiped them away. It hasn't happened for the past couple of days, but I haven't been on long drives like I was the other day. So I don't know if there's something to do with like how long you're driving or some sort of sync or something like that. But yeah, I did see a little wonkiness, or maybe it's just like Pixel 10's getting used to being out in the world.
Yeah, it's just a baby. It was just born. Give it some time to learn how to live in this complicated world. There is. I clicked through to the subreddit with one, which is one of the places where this issue, particularly with Android Auto, was reported. And the poster did update on the 30th of August to say it looks like a patch was put out. People are saying it fixed the issue. Make sure you update. And then updated to say the issue was resolved for me and hopefully everyone. To anyone reading this thread, update your Android Auto app. Enjoy your pixels. So there you go.
Yay.
There you go.
Got there. Yay.
Always do your updates. I have 35 updates pending on my phone right now.
Oh boy.
Always do your updates. I was just on a backpacking trip with some friends, and one of the guys there, God, I can't remember what we were talking about. If we were talking about RCS or whatever. He was like, oh yeah, I don't have that. I was like, well, do you have an update waiting on your phone? He was like, yeah, but I just never update it. I'm like, there's so many people out there. That's just how they,
every time I look at my wife's laptop and the Chrome update ready to click to the Chrome install, like I'm like, just update to relaunch to update, just do it, please. Why aren't you updating?
It was funny because he was telling me about it, and I was like, well, then why don't you just hit update and then it'll update? And he's like, I just don't have the time for it. I was like, does it also have a button that says like update at 2 a.m.? He was like, yeah. I was like, literally all you have to do is hit that button, and then like it'll happen.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about it.
Oh man, it's
fun.
wild. It's a
So
wild
people
world.
just don't like updating their phones. I know,
Nope.
my mom's that way too.
Yep, they don't. All right. Well, yeah. So Pixel 10. I mean, every launch has a little bumps, but I was surprised that like I felt like every time I looked at my Google News feed, there was another article of people reporting problems with the Pixel 10. I mean, Jason, have you run into any of those problems or anything?
No, I haven't run into any of those problems. I'm trying to think if I've run into any real notable problems. I can't say I've been getting the most amazing battery life. That's my main thing.
My battery life is the same as the 9 Pro.
Yeah.
I'm at the same, like at the end of the day, I'm sitting on the couch at like 9 o'clock and I'm at like 30%. It's the same I was at I haven't been like, oh wow, I still got a lot of battery. Like it has not impressed me by the length. I feel like it's operating on the same battery cycle as the 9.
Which I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's prohibitive battery, like I'm not getting through the days or anything. But usually when I get a new phone, that's one thing that I notice is, and battery life is pretty standard, 30, 40% by the end of the day. And I've had some days where this has dropped down into the teens. And I'm like, that's when I'm starting to get nervous,
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that with a brand new phone, especially one, like a Pixel. I just don't normally get that. So that's one thing I've noticed.
All right. Well, last little bit of hardware, a little bit of rumors. I don't know if it's truly leaky peaky, although it's Samsung. But at the last Galaxy Unpacked in July, we were hoping and crossing our fingers that they'd give us one more thing and show off the Project Muhan headset and give us an update on Android XR. They did not. And so now, of course, everybody's scrambling to get any information we can. There was on the recent earnings call from Samsung, they revealed plans to release it by the end of the year. And then another report came out saying that it's going to launch at a Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event that's supposedly happening at the end of this month on September 29th. So in 4 weeks from this week, that they're going to launch it, which is very, very soon. Unknown if that's happening or not. But in addition to that, now we've got some rumors that at least in Korea, in South Korea, it's going to be available for purchase on October 13th and eventually roll out to other markets. And this report, which sourced from Newsworks, which is some website that Sam Mobile picked up from, reported that on October 13th, it'll be available in South Korea and will sell for between 2.5 and 4 million South Korean won, which is the currency in South Korea, which converts to roughly between $1,800 and $2,000 American, which is significantly cheaper than the Apple Vision Pro, which I expected. I did not. My personal. If you had to, ask me to predict what the price of this would be, it was not going to be the north of $3,500 that the Apple product was because of that brick and the processor and all the stuff that all the crap Apple put into the Vision Pro. Additionally, with this report, Newsworks said that Samsung is aiming to ship around 100,000 units of the XR headset this year. And that's in comparison to Apple shipped about 100,000 units of the Vision Pro in its first year. So we'll see if this is true. We'll keep an eye out. Obviously, if Project Muhan is going to launch, is going to take flight later this month, we'll be all over it. I want to experience Android XR. I think it's going to be really cool. From what we saw at Google I/O, my curiosity's peaked. I feel like the price is right. I mean, it basically puts it at the price of a foldable, right? A high-end foldable, right?
No,
so there's your choice. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think $1,800 to $2,000 is the right price?
I think it's probably fair. I'll be curious to see how close Samsung can get to shipping around 100,000 units of the headset. I mean, there's no way on earth this thing was going to be more expensive than the Apple Vision Pro. It doesn't take very much to shave off, a certain amount. I would bet a lot of people who are curious about this device are disappointed by this news because they were really hoping it was going to be like $1,000 headset. And I mean, or something in that range, slightly more than the Quest. And I mean, in my experience with this device, this is not just a little better than the Quest. This is a different category of device, and it really is a high-end XR headset. You know,
Yeah.
it's from
and this
from the
isn't-
materials and the experience and everything.
And
I knew
this
it was
is-
going to be expensive.
And this is completely, from my understanding, this is completely going to be a consumer product. This isn't a developer product, or this is meant to go in the hands of consumers. Worth mentioning, it's gonna have the Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 chipset. It's got 2 micro LED displays with a 90 hertz refresh rate. It's gonna have 12 cameras, and despite me making fun of Apple, this also will have an external battery pack, but I can't imagine it's gonna be as big as Apple's. So that's important to keep in mind. It's got to power it somehow. And Android XR under the hood. So we'll see. I don't know, but it could be sooner. It could be this month that it's in the world.
I'm still very curious. I'm very eager, hopefully, to be able to review the device. But having said that, I'm not paying $2,000 for a VR headset. Like,
It's a luxury, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's super
100%.
luxury. Yeah. We'll see. We'll actually see how much of an actual market there is for this high end of a VR or XR headset. I mean, I think there's also reports that Samsung is really shifting its focus more towards the glasses form factor. I think that has a lot more steam behind it right now for these companies. But I'm happy that Samsung's still sticking to this and releasing this, because it is an impressive device. If you get the chance to play around with it, you will be wowed. Some of the demos that they showed off were really impressive. So, yeah. Cool stuff. All right. Well, we got more show for you. We're not over. We've got apps, but you're gonna have to listen to a few things. So stand by, open your ears, and prepare for apps on the other side of this. Poof, we're back. It's like magic. See, we didn't go anywhere, and neither did you. Thank you. Win, what you got in the apps world?
Well, I got a quick share about quick share for you. So it looks like Google is revamping quick share, and it's already kind of like Samsung has already adapted this updated quick share for One UI 8 beta, and Google's likely initiating a broader rollout. In fact, our very own Michelle Rahman saw this. And if you look at the coverage on Android Authority, you might see his very familiar face within the comps. So it's not it's definitely a different update. And I think the biggest thing about it is that now when you go to quick share, rather than, going to quick share settings and then you having to initiate it and a little more friction, you'll get immediately taken to the quick share receive screen, which shows kind of what your device is visible as, or what your device is named to other folks, and allows you to actually otherwise say that you're ready to receive. And then there's also the send receive there. And it's a kind of small update. It does feel slightly more material expressy. It's not significantly different. But yeah, it does take you to the quick share faster, and it does prioritize, I think, sharing a little bit faster. Like if you go to the send screen, rather than kind of prioritizing which device you're going to be sending it to, it kind of prioritizes which files you want to, and then kind of takes you to sending to either your devices or nearby devices. A little bit different. It tries to be a little bit more specific about what your device will appear as to other folks, to help you kind of identify, or other folks, or receivers rather, of your files to, or send. I guess it makes sense. I guess as a sendee or a receiver, allows you to identify yourself or more clearly. So it's just a nice, small but significant usability bumps, it seems like. So yeah, it's a good feature, but quick share is definitely one of those features where you kind of have to be slightly savvy to really start using it. It's not a very just kind of, I don't know. It's not a very intuitive feature. It just really feels like a power user feature. So it kind of makes sense that they're trying to make it just a little bit easier, a little faster to use.
When I agree with you that for some reason quick share is more of a power user flex. Mm-hmm. Why is that though? Because on Apple, on iOS, this feature on iOS, suddenly I'm blanking on the name of it.
AirDrop.
AirPlay or what is
AirDrop.
It? AirDrop. I was like, AirShare. No, that's not it. AirDrop is a thing that almost every Apple user that I've met understands it and knows it and can do it. And you know what I mean? It's there's a comprehension, not a comprehension gap, but there's something weird about this feature on Android being a pro user thing that you got to know about in order to use, versus on iOS, it's just one of those amazing features that like everybody knows how to do. Oh, just airdrop that to me. Okay, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, they're done. But on Android, like we don't do that, and
No.
we kind of consider this to be an advanced feature, but it's really not. But it is, and I wonder why that is. That's
because
so
we've never had it as reliable or as smooth as AirDrop was years ago. For whatever,
That's fair.
Apple prioritized
taken a
it,
while to
made
get
it
here.
work, and embedded it into Mac OS and iOS, and just made it work really nicely and simply, and worked within their devices, and just was something that worked that kind of people didn't take for granted, but just kind of depended on. And we've always had kind of this fit and start with it, and have never really had Google's never prioritized it or made it truly work as smoothly as AirDrop works.
Well, and so then my question is like, are changes like this working to that end? Like, is anything that we see here, like, does this change that story, or is it something about how the feature is even introduced to people to begin with? I just kind of get the sense that most Android users don't even know this feature exists.
Yeah, I think it's both. Like, so if you see, like, the first time you would hit, like, if you're looking on the video, the Android Authority article has like side by side. So like the light colored screen is like the old one, it's the old experience, and the dark colored screen is like the new experience. And so it used to be that when you kind of like hit the quick share settings like tile, you get taken to a settings screen, which I think is just confusing, because then it just feels like extra friction. Whereas like now you hit it and you can instantly see, oh, ready
This
to
interaction
receive
space.
Yeah, and like it even says send and receive at the bottom, whereas like the bottom now there's a bottom where it says send and receive, whereas the first version, it is actually kind of confusing. Like where
it is. It looks like
where do I go?
You said it. It looks like a settings screen. It's like, well, why am I here?
Why am I here?
Where do I go from
exactly.
here? Yeah.
And then unfortunately, yes, the thing that we unfortunately can't do is go into a time machine and go back and tell everybody about it. That first impression is so difficult to circumvent. It's just
the onboarding process of Android devices is so jam-packed with so many things. It's easy, even when you're onboarding with a special section or a screen, one of like 16 screens that appears. And by the way, this is also exists. Do you want to activate it? People might just not even realize that, when they see it amidst all the other things. So anyways.
Well, to make it even less straightforward, even though this current quick share, which I think we'll call a win for the quick share adoption, is rolling out. There's another quick share experience also that was found by Android Authority. Now they do caveat that when Android Authority digs around in APKs and looks for things, they want you to be aware that it's not necessarily that they're always finding something that is definitely going to roll out. It might be an experiment. It might be an A/B test. It might just be, and developers do that a lot. We ship a lot of code, and then we just kind of discriminate, like we just flag it off and on, either for development or A/B test. But Android Authority did find yet another quick share UI that actually looks like it could be for desktop, because it's a little bit cleaner, and it's the same kind of idea. Like, let's make quick share faster and a lot more intuitive at first glance. But what's super interesting is that where you have a big plus button that is the add files to share, which is like the landing screen for these experiments, it says drag or select files. And drag file sounds very much like a desktop thing, and in fact,
desktop are foldable.
Definitely a large screen. So definitely a large screen. And the Android Authority folks actually kind of messed around with like the device settings to make it to kind of like change the device to look like a large screen, and it does very much seem to fit. Maybe if we want to like navel gaze a little bit, it's possible that this might be an experimentation, a test on what quick share could be on, as you guys said, a large screen, or, the upcoming Android more laptopy, desktopy type devices. And it looks quite at home there, to be honest with you. Like any other quick share. Yeah.
It looks so cozy.
Looks cozy. Looks calming. Drop your files here. We swear it's safe. It is safe, I'm sure. But so if you're curious on what that might look like, go check out Android Authority. But yeah, I mean, maybe this just again speaks to the story of they know that they're kind of not quite hitting the mark with quick share as a feature, even though it's hella useful.
Super useful.
So useful.
Super useful, and it's not in the standard lexicon or normal, every user using it, and then is like they keep taking swings, are they swings and misses, or they're just hitting singles, not home runs with it. I don't know so.
That's a good way of saying it. It definitely is hitting singles, but they need a home run. Faux show.
As I think about this, there's the ubiquity question. iOS is very used to all iOS devices being able to AirDrop, right?
Yeah.
And I don't actually know right off the top of my head whether all Android devices, all of Google Android devices automatically have the ability to do this. I would assume so, but maybe the big crossover point is what messaging has gone through in the last handful of years, and now Apple, supports cross-device with RCS. Like, is a cross-platform solution?
Yep.
Is that the thing that makes people on the Android side wake up and go, oh, we do have this thing? Because now the friction really is like, and I've experienced this. I'm hanging out with a bunch of iOS people. It's like, I want to share this thing with you. Can you do AirDrop? I'm like, well, no, I got an Android device. I'm like, oh, what do we do then?
Right.
And it's like, and I guess you just text it to me via RCS or whatever. But if these protocols could, and I don't actually believe that this will happen, but if they could talk to each other, that would be pretty sweet.
It would be neat, but it's never that will never happen.
Quick sharing on iPhone.
I do think it suffers from the fact that AirDrop is a great product name.
It is. Twitch chat actually is having a discussion about branding being an issue, and I totally agree. Yeah.
And also, I do think Quick Share becomes another one of those things. And I don't know what Apple has done to market AirDrop or how it became ubiquitous to your point, Jason. Yeah. But like, there's so much under the hood of these phones now. How do you break through the noise and get to your friend who doesn't even update his app? How do you explain to him that he can transfer files with his phone from phone to phone? Mm-hmm. And also how often are normal users honestly transferring files on their phone? That's another thing too. It's like we've gotten to we've evolved, like this is very much a techie, nerdy kind of thing, but we've almost evolved to a fileless society with so much stuff in the cloud, and you're sharing a link to a Google Doc, or you're sharing whatever, when was the last time that you needed to give your wife a PDF file from your phone? When, I don't know, I that's another thing too, is that the world is kind of, AirDrop was created in 2015? Like 10 years ago, I think. So it's like, right. How has the world evolved from the point where it was introduced? The AirDrop was introduced 14 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? It was a much different world back then. So
it works with Mac computers too. So if you're
that's another biggie.
Yeah. And so if you have an iPhone and you have a computer, it's very likely that you have another Mac computer. So so you knew it everywhere. So you can drop, a file from work for your computer onto your iPhone. And it it had that. I mean, we definitely have some iPhone family in the Android faithful audience. So I don't know, like if you have an insight on like why AirDrop has succeeded where QuickShare hasn't, or let us know. Yeah, please give us Android folks some perspective, because it is frustrating.
Yep. Indeed. All right, moving on. Last little bit of app news comes from YouTube. YouTube giveth, and then YouTube taketh away. First, in terms of YouTube giveth, if you are on an Android TV or Google TV device and you fire up the YouTube TV app, you're going to notice those UI changes that YouTube had promised a few months back are starting to roll out. You might notice a centered play pause button, which is very different than the UI previously that was out there, which is great. And then we've also got some pill buttons that are better, just an overall better UI, a better design for the TV watching kind of experience. So it's nice to see that kind of rolling out, and then taking a look at the lean back kind of experience for those in the living room watching YouTube. My kids, I mean, one of my son's favorite shows is on YouTube, and Number Blocks. It's a British animation show with counting and math and whatever, and so but they watch it. There's some episodes on Netflix, but not every. There's more episodes on YouTube, so we watch it on YouTube. But yeah, so we watch a lot of YouTube, and sometimes that interface gets very frustrating. So I'm glad to see them make that update. So this is cool. So keep an eye out for that if you've got a TV with the YouTube app. But if you are a YouTube Premium user that has a family plan, and you've got family members that aren't physically in your same household, look out. Because YouTube is starting to do a little bit of the old crackdown. This is from the playbook of other streaming apps like Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO Max, who are cracking down on password sharing, which is one thing. But the YouTube Premium family plan allows you to share the subscription app with up to 5 family members that share your subscription, and since 2023, they've required that all family members be in the same household, but they've never really done any enforcement of it. And it seems that now they're starting to do that. They've started testing out a new 2-person premium plan, and they're flagging accounts that are part of the family plan but not physically located in the same household as a family manager. So they're sending out emails that say your YouTube Premium family membership will be paused. Your membership requires all members to be in the same household as the family manager. It appears you may not be in the same household as your family manager. So once your access is paused, you'll remain in the family group. You can watch YouTube with ads, but you'll no longer have access to YouTube Premium benefits. And then they do an electronic check-in every 30 days to make sure every family member lives in the same residential address as the family manager. So this is very interesting to see how much this crackdown, how deep this goes and how thorough they are about chasing folks down to make sure they're in the same household, which is very frustrating because I may or may not have members of my family using my account that aren't in my household, in my physical house. But,
that's about to change.
Yeah, we'll see.
But not a lot of people have gotten this message yet, but you can imagine it's going to open up.
The question will be, this is YouTube Premium. Admittedly, I'm doing it on YouTube TV, which is a much higher price point, and I'm hoping that allows it for some reason, and they don't just do a blanket kind of coverage. But I hope no one from YouTube's listening to this right now. So let's stop talking about it.
They're all doing this. It's been a huge success for Netflix.
Yeah.
To make the change, I think they're all just realizing they can and they will.
Yeah, they let Netflix go first, and
yeah.
All right, let's all do it.
It was really. I mean, I think in the matter of like the first 4 days, Netflix's user kind of signups or whatever just went through the absolute roof when they made the change. So, it's been proven to work, and so they're all going to get that money.
Yep. Well,
and Google, and to be fair, they've been saying this was against their terms of service for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
but saying it and enforcing it are two different things.
For sure. But you had to assume that someday they were probably going to.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up all the news from this week in the world of apps, and we're going to move on to your feedback. We love to hear from you when you email us at contact@androidfaithful.com, and boy, do we hear from you all out there.
Yeah.
So our first email, Jason, you've got...
There we go.
Yes,
from Mike. Mike says, Android Faithful team, as always, thanks for a consistent and informative podcast. I listen to it every Wednesday morning on my way to work. My interjection is when we have a podcast that releases Tuesday evening. Sorry about that, Mike. Just a quick note about your widget discussion from the August 27th show. Mike says, I have 31 widgets over 9 home screens on my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. My goodness, sir, that's crazy. 11 of the widgets are weather related. Typical dad. Yeah, I am a widget fanatic. The only downside to the number of widgets I use is that my battery, I think, does not last very long. But I use a 45-watt charger, and my device supports super fast charging. So hey, you can support your widget habit, because you've got the drug that feeds it, which is the fast charging. So
31 widgets. Does that drain the battery? Would that really drain the battery?
Because of the way that so it depends on how the widgets are implemented. But because widgets don't really have live data and that we have to do some weird stuff, it's possible.
Yeah.
It depends on how they're implemented.
Are they constantly polling? Right? Like, is it like how often can you get a widget to? There
are like other things too, because of security issues and because of like the API being so old, it's possible someone's doing something to give you a good widget that maybe is less than performant. It's hard for me to say off the top of my head, but the API is just so old. I would believe you. Like I don't have a reason to disbelieve you, Mike, and I could see it being the case. Although actually you have to pull like so it can't automatically pull data itself, although one of the new APIs. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I would believe you.
On the topic of widgets, can I just share my frustration in that with Android 16 rolling out and the Pixel 10, I have apps that I use the widgets for that I guess they haven't updated for the new OS or whatever it is. So, for example, Major League Baseball's app, they have a 1x4 widget that gives scores or whatever. It's just blank. It just won't update. It just stopped working. I had an old, Jason, do you remember Power Toggles? Do you remember that widget?
I remember Power Toggles.
It's just gone. Like it just doesn't, it's just not on my phone anymore. It didn't come over with the new phone. But then the other thing was that, so the Google at a glance widget, that gives you the weather and all that sort of stuff. And remember, Jason, when we got the Pixel 10s, I texted you. I'm like, oh my God, I opened up my Pixel 10 and the first at a glance widget thing was the Mets score. Like it knows me, whatever. I have yet to get a baseball score in the at a glance widget since that happened. And I don't know how to get it back. Like it's
you don't have to be. How do we tell it? Like, yes, do more of that.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know why. It's very frustrating. So
thumbs up button next to it or something.
I love the widgets. So
yeah.
All right.
I don't normally live with widgets on my device, but I've been trying to use more widgets, especially with Material 3 Expressive, and try and get used to them. So, but they're off on like my third and fourth screen, and I rarely go over there. So I have to remember to go over there. So yeah, interesting. Thank you, Mike.
All right, Wynn, next email is you.
Yeah, and it's from another Mike. Hi, Android faithful. I reluctantly got a Pixel 10. I was hoping to stick with Samsung, but with the rumor that the next line would eliminate the baseline S for a slim or ultra model, I decided to pull the trigger. All in all, I'm happy with the phone, but don't understand the hate on the eSIM. I switch SIMs fairly frequently while traveling and have found eSIMs easy to switch between. In fact, as I transferred between phones and waited for my new case, I went between eSIMs 3 times and it was super easy. My only issue was that some older apps that use the whole screen left me unable to access key menu features at the top. I was prepared to return it, but I'm all in all happy with it. And I agree with Flo 100% that I don't need to pay more for the Pro. Mike in lovely Virginia via Patreon.
Yeah, I think my take on this, Mike, is I realize as I was hearing your email be read by Wynn that my reaction around eSIM is purely change is hard. Because I don't actually know with certainty that moving to eSIM is going to make my life more complicated, but I haven't had to make that switch yet, and now I do, and I'm concerned that it might pose more problems, and so I'm willing to admit that mine is a fear, uncertainty, and doubt reaction. And I might actually be very wrong. You might be absolutely right. And I haven't been forced to move to eSIM yet. I enjoy having control. I enjoy looking at the SIM and knowing I can put this in any phone I get and I'm done. I've done my work. And with eSIM, it's kind of like the Google Wallet, my Google Wallet experience. It took me a really long time to feel comfortable with Google Wallet because I had a couple of bad experiences very early on. I never trusted it for a very long time, and I rarely used it. And then when I did, I was constantly carrying around other stuff because I didn't want to give control because change is hard. And now I love it. And so it's probably the same thing. So good note, Mike. I appreciate that.
All right. Mike in the chat, by the way, is explaining, which I knew in pixel settings,
all over the place.
Long press at a glance widget on the home screen and select customize at a glance settings, which I did. And then he said, toggle on the sports option to allow scores for your follow teams to display. I don't have a sports option anymore, but I did see a baseball score, but there is no sports option on my at a glance widget, Mike. So there you go. I assumed it was coming from, what it knew for me from Google Assistant and all that sort of stuff, but there is no, under customize, there is no sports. So very frustrating. Anyway, It's a mystery. We'll continue on. Our last email comes from Tom in Sacramento. It's a long one, so buckle up, everybody. Tom says, I've been following you guys since the very first episode of All About Android and finally joined the Patreon.
Yay.
Thank you, Tom. I still remember the moment many years ago when I went to get one of the new smartphones. I was never going to get anything Apple, so it came down to Palm or Android. I flipped a coin and got the HTC Hero, and that was it. There were some HTCs, the very cool Sharp Aquos Crystal, and then for the past decade, a series of OnePlus phones, currently the OnePlus 12 Pro. I also been wearing Wear OS watches since they first gave me one or two at I.O. that one year. I'm still using a Pixel 1, which has been more than enough for me. I also have a Google Smart Home with all the devices. Of course, now that I'm on Patreon, there is a list of things I've been meaning to message you guys about. Okay. He's got a list. So there you go. First is about the discussion of Google TV a couple of weeks ago. One underrated piece of that product is ensuring that rivals don't control the set-top market and place barriers affecting YouTube and YouTube TV, both of which are significant revenue streams. I've been using Google TV/Chromecast for over a decade and I'm still quite happy with it. One of the biggest recent things that has enhanced its usefulness is the Productivity Launcher app, which is a much cleaner, extremely customizable interface. It also is perfect for the Pocket TV/Ray Neo Air 3s combo that I got on Prime Day based on Jason's review.
Bravo.
And he sent in a photo of an example of the screenshot from the Productivity Launcher app, which is a much more kind of bubble-based kind of launcher for Google TV to access your apps, which I've heard lots of people, this is me interjecting into Tom's email, lots of people, and Mishal is one of them, ditch the Google TV launcher and get a third-party launcher to make the experience that much better and just drill down, get rid of all the stuff, the fluff that they're putting in, and drill down to just the apps that you want to use and that sort of thing. So it looks like Productivity Launcher is an option, and he shared a link to the Google Play Store that we'll share in the show notes for anybody who wants to check it out. And then Tom finishes up. He says, second, I've been meaning to comment on the Wear OS Facer discussion from a while back. As a longtime watch user, I had been using Facer almost from the beginning. The numerous options allowed me to change faces based on my mood, it seemed. But it became obvious over time that Facer just burned too much battery, especially with the newer version of Wear OS and any display of information beyond the time. I finally adjusted to having more minimal stock watch faces with only two complications, wallet and the display of my glucose levels from my continuous glucose monitor. For the rest of the info, I use tiles. I have multiple keep tiles for different shopping lists, Trader Joe's, Farmer's Market, generic shopping, and I also have an app called Wear OS Toolkit that provides several additional tiles, most significantly for us Californians since they have an air quality index tile. Thanks again for all the years of great content, Tom in Sacramento. Thank you, Tom, for signing up for the Patreon, being a longtime listener, and weighing in on Google TV and Wear OS watch faces. Always good to hear from you folks out in the trenches.
And so that was Projectivity Launcher?
No, Productivity Launcher.
Oh, Productivity.
There's a link in our doc.
Yeah, that's the link that I put in.
That's wrong then.
Okay. Wait.
Hang on.
It wasn't the link that was...
he might have sent the wrong link then.
Because this looks like...
We do, actually, my husband and I use that, actually, Productivity Launcher.
Yeah, tired.
Is it Productivity Launcher? Is it? Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is, yeah.
I'm guessing it is. This is definitely an Android TV launcher.
Yeah, we use it. So Projectivity Launcher. That was just a typo then on his email.
Projectivity.
Might have been autocorrect or something because, it's not spelled how you would think. Yes, it's spelled. It's not a, it's a word.
Projectivity Launcher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Projectivity. Dang, this is really hard. Audio listeners, Projectivity.
Yep.
Launcher.
What if it's Project Ivy?
Project Ivy, yeah.
I briefly saw somebody in the live chat while we were doing the show asking, can you change the launcher on Google TV? You absolutely can.
Yes.
There's an entire app store on Google TV, and you can download launchers and set that as the default launcher, and then you're off to the races. It's not hard. So
yeah, the only thing that we've experienced is that it makes the mapping of the remote a little weird. I'm sure there's probably a way to fix it with some time and effort, but I guess we haven't put that in there. But yeah, we've enjoyed it. Yep.
Very cool.
Nice.
Email us at contact@androidfaithful.com. Let us know what things you've discovered, and always great to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yes. We love hearing from y'all.
Yes. And with that wonderful email from longtime listener Tom, that's it for our show this week. That's episode 111. I know everyone was surprised. So are we, actually, that we've made it this far. And I guess on this episode 111, Jason, what do you want to let the people know about what you're doing?
Well, I had a busy week last week before I went to the mountains backpacking. I did 2 videos in 2 days. One was an update on the Ray Neo Air 3S Pro, which is kind of a wearable display that you wear on your face if you've got a Galaxy S25 Ultra, or any device that has USB-C with DisplayPort out. This basically puts a display on your face and both eyes, and you can watch 3D movies and everything. So that came out. But I think more applicable to this show is a video that I did taking a close look, a deep dive at Material 3 Expressive on the new Pixel 10. And yeah, it's doing really well. I was really happy with how I put it together, and apparently people are really enjoying it. So go to YouTube, search for Jason Howell. You will find my latest video that I am quite proud of. Material 3 Expressive hits Pixel 10. Was the leap worth it? That's the inviting title. Some might say a little clickbaity, but there you go.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, we are not just tech people. We are also other fans of other things, like Ron Richards, our own fanboy. Hi, fanboy.
Yes, indeed. It's been crazy shows and stuff like that. I haven't really talked about what's been going on over at iFanboy, but if you go to ifanboy.com, a couple of weeks ago, we released our latest Media Explode episode where we talked about summer TV. We talked about The Gilded Age season 3, which is one of my favorite shows this summer. And we answered a bunch of listener mail with some fun topics in there. So if you're looking for another podcast to listen to, I also recommended a Netflix show, Department Q, which is one of my new favorite shows. Very, very good. Glad to see it renewed for a second season. So yeah, check that out. Love talking about the TV and movies over at ifanboy.com. So
Excellent.
Love it. And I am an Android person. I'm an Android developer person specifically. And if you're interested in development type stuff, you can head over to randomtyping.com, where I mostly have talks that I do a few times a year, code, video, and other things included there. And if you have not had enough Android news, hardware, and other things for the week, if you are a patron, can listen to us at After Hours. We cover the stories that were not the winningest in the patron poll, and a couple other things from the week. We've got more quick share. We've got all kinds of stuff for you. And so if you want a little bit more Android Faithful in your pocket for the week, become a patron and you can listen to After Hours. So there you go. But yes, that is it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our wonderful crew of live stream listeners and chatters. It's always awesome to have such a great crowd every week to hang out with. This podcast publishes every Tuesday evening for the most part. Sometimes we have exceptions, like last week. But yeah, subscribe at android.faithful.com or patreon.com/androidfaithful. Send us your emails at contact@androidfaithful.com. And that's it for us this week.
Sorry, I may have jumped the gun.
No. It's fine. I just was a little too leisurely. Ambling towards the end.
Almost got there. The warbling was happening again.
Oh no!
It happened with the music. Yeah,
the music.
Happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard it a little bit when there was crosstalk, where where we're talking over you. But yeah, it's really weird. I've never heard that from.
Is it a network thing on my part? Because I've had to be on Wi-Fi for several weeks now. Would that do it?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea, because I haven't really heard it before. It's very bizarre.
I kindly asked my husband if we can solve the why isn't our wired in this office working, so maybe we'll eliminate some variables. So anyway.
Yeah, it's all good. It was very much isolated to the beginning music and the ending music, so it's not a big deal. If that's the only time that happened, it's really not a big deal.
Okay, well,
I don't know. That's how I feel, anyways. Some people will probably yell at me. No, perfect is the only solution. Let's see here. Title chooser thing. af.showbot.tv. For those of you who may or may not have given us titles to choose from. Up at the very top, up at the tip top is Gemini is coming. Google home. Gemini is coming home, but with Google between coming and home. That works when I read it. When I say it out loud, doesn't. But that's okay. Who's saying our titles out loud?
Gemini's
Samsung Burrito
Google.
Nuggets. I see dead pixels. Shouldn't have stopped the insanity. That's a pre-show call, right?
Yes.
Burrito style foldables. Burrito phones, also not included. Burrito phone. I want a heptafold phone. Google seismic judgment and or slap on the wrist. Long. The Android whirly twirly. Reset the OnePlus or nothing incident counter. Yeah, we didn't mention that. That would have been a good one. Reset the nothing PR mistake counter.
Nice, you guys.
South African spidiff. That's specific. Chock full of ports. Is this foldable more taco tray or burrito? Like that. Foldable phones. Why stop at 3? Making quick share more quick shareable. Wow, Cousin of Jaw. Getting lots of titles in there today.
As per usual.
As per usual. Any jump outs?
Gemini's coming Google Home. I think because you're reading it, no one is saying it.
Yeah,
it does work.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Gemini is coming Google Home.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just Gemini is coming home because that implies what it's about.
True, but Google it gets the SEO in there.
Yeah. Do the parentheses
heard it? Yeah.
Heard it?
What if Gemini is coming Google Home?
Is coming Google Home.
That doesn't work then.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, even the parentheses looks a little weird to me, to be honest. Gemini is coming Google Home.
Clinton suggested Google, Gemini is coming home. Does that hit the
Google
meanings?
Home.
Or Cousin John said Gemini is coming parentheses to Google Home. That's weird too.
I mean, at that point, then I just say Gemini is coming to Google Home.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, at that point,
right? Which is fine. I mean, we not all our titles need to be wacky. Gemini finally comes home.
Gemini finally comes home.
Finally comes home. Yeah. That kind of works.
Yeah.
Gemini finally comes home. Well, even though it's not actually coming home yet. Gemini finally comes home. Does that work?
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah,
Gemini
that works for
finally
me.
comes home.
Collaborative. I like it.
Okay. All right. Coolio. Living in a gangster's paradise. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for your input on titles. Thank you for your input in chats and being here. Yes, you can take a win. It's cool. Yeah. I think we've reached the end, and we did good on time. I think.
Yeah, we're great. Yeah,
Yeah.
We got a little long at the quick share, but yeah, we came in on time. So.
Excellent. That's all that matters. Coming in on time. I was tempted because we were definitely ahead at the end of news going into hardware.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, do I change the number to keep the segments the same size, or do I just leave it and the show length is the most important thing? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's probably the right way. Is show length is the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't need to, firmly restrict hardware to just 10 minutes or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It kind of ebbs and flows. Sometimes the news occupies more space, and sometimes the hardware does. So, okay, cool. Well, we are going to go ahead and sign off for the live portion. Then we will do our after hours, and those of you on the Patreon of a certain tier will get access to that a little bit later on this evening. So you just have to wait for it. Thank you, everybody. Great hanging out with you all. You're awesome.
Good night, everybody.
See you next week.
We'll miss you.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.